it's Missy. Welcome back to my channel. It has been so long that I have done one of these book recommendations for the summer. I wanted to share with you guys the books that I've read. I've read 7 books. Most of them I gave 5 stars, 4.5, but 2 of them, I've never done this before in my ratings of all the books I have. 2 of them got 3 stars. And I will be sharing all the books I have, which are these babies right here, and then the other 3, which are the Disney Chill series. I don't have them anymore. So without further ado, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and let's get into the book recommendations. So I'm gonna start off with the Disney Chill series. There is a total of 6 books in the Disney Chill series. All of these is based on the Disney villains and these kids that want something, but in order to get what they want, they have to make a deal with the villain. So the first one that I read was Part of Your Nightmare, the first one. It was about an 11-year-old girl named Shelly Anderson who participated in the swim team. She wanted to be the best swimmer in the team, and somehow she stumbles upon this shell. It's like a shell necklace that Ursula has. Well, she stumbles upon it, she finds it, and what she does is she made a wish saying that she wishes that she would be the best swimmer in the swim team. And somehow Ursula appears and she grants her wish, but in one condition. Her one condition was that she was going to turn into a fish. It's been like about a couple of months since I've read this book, so I can't remember everything about this book. Well, this is my review. It was a really fast-paced reading, and it was hard for me to put it down. I think it was 100 some pages, I believe. And it was so interesting, and I really was looking forward to read the second one. I rated this one 5 stars, and it was written by Vera Strange. So she did okay. The next book I read after I read Part of Your Nightmare, I immediately was like, okay, I'm going to start reading the second one, which is Feeds on the Other Side. Now this one, I had my doubts about this one, but this one was about a 12-year-old boy named Jamal, and he was living with his twin brother named Miguel, who was the same age as him. The problem was that Jamal was getting, in my opinion, he was a little bit jealous that Miguel had everything while Jamal only had, not a lot of things. His twin brother was very popular in their school, very talented, confident, but with Jamal, he really didn't feel like anybody was noticing him. One day, Jamal finds this shadow, or I don't think it was a shadow, but he found something, and he met a villain named Dr. Facilier. It's a different consequence, but it goes the same way, where a kid meets a villain, they make a wish, and then in order to make that wish come true, they had to pay a price. So it was like that in all the Disney Chill series. This one to me was kind of scary, and it was by the same author. And I'm sorry to say this, you guys, I gave this one 3 stars. Well, not really 3. I gave it 3.5 because of what happened at the ending. What I said in my review was, I'm sorry, I'm not a huge fan of Dr. Facilier, and I didn't have a connection with the main character. And that's true, I really didn't. This is the second book of the Disney Chill series, and I'm starting to think that I won't be keeping this book. I mean, it was still okay, don't get me wrong. After I read that book, I was starting to lose my hope and was thinking, okay, hopefully this third one will uplift my confidence and be like, okay, it needs to get good. This one didn't save me at all. Second Star to the Fright, book 3, and this one is about a 11-year-old boy. His name is Barry. He wanted to grow up and be an adult, where his sister's name is Rita. She was 15, or I think she was 15 years old. I guess Barry was kind of jealous that his sister was able to do everything that a teenager could do. And he wanted to know what it was like to be back to being a kid, because his birthday was coming up and he was going to be turning 12. Well, he wanted to stay being a boy, stay being an 11-year-old. His parents, they go to I think it's a museum. It's some kind of museum where you're going to learn stuff about Captain Hook, and it's more like Neverland, but more of what happened with Captain Hook and the ship. He goes into the ship and he finds a hook. All of a sudden, he makes a wish saying that he wanted to stay as an 11-year-old boy. James Hook appears, but in a shadow, holding a sword, saying that he is allowed to give him that wish unless there was a price to that wish. I had the same doubts again where I just couldn't connect with the main character. I also gave this one 3 stars. I mean, yes, it was still okay, but it was really slow in the beginning. So after I read the Disney Chill series, those 3 alone, I was like, I need something to uplift me. 1,000 Boy Kisses by Tilly Cole. This book, I loved it so much. This book is about 2, I call them couples, okay? Couples, Poppy and Rune. They met when they were little. They were getting to know each other and then becoming friends. When they were like 8 years old, they actually kissed. That's a little bit fast, don't you think? You shouldn't be kissing at the age of 8. You should still be best friends. Somehow, as they were growing up, teenage year, and they were in high school, they were getting close, like soulmate close. But it started to get close to where they were becoming adults, and then things started to change to where Rune had to go away. Someone gives Poppy this jar, and every time Poppy kisses somebody, a boy that she likes, she has to write it down in these little hearts right here, and then in these foldable hearts, and then put it in the jar. And then every time she is kissing somebody or something good happens, it goes in this jar. I love Poppy so much because she's just unique. Whereas Rune, I like him too, but I can tell how serious he was with Poppy. Somehow while he's away, they cut all communication, like no call, no text. Later on in the chapters, you'll find out why Poppy was cutting all communications with Rune, and then you put it together, there's a plot twist at the end, and you're like, oh my gosh. And then it's so heartbreaking because something happened. Just thinking about it, I'm gonna cry. I gave this book 5 stars. I loved the relationship that Poppy and Rune had. If they make it into a movie, I will be so happy. I did find out that the author, Tilly Cole, did publish another book. It's called, 1,000 Broken Pieces, and it's the sequel to this one. I did get my hands on it. I just haven't touched it because I'm lingering through this book right now. The next one, Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole. I can't pronounce her last name, so I'm just gonna say Hannah Nicole. I've read this book so many times, like maybe 8 times I've read this book. We follow 2 main characters, Evie and the villain, aka Tristan Mavering. I love the main character, Evie, so much because she is so caring when it comes to her father, who is ill, and then her sister, who is like very special and important to her, including her father too. But the thing is that Evie was trying to look for a job in order to take care of her father and her sister. Well, suddenly she goes into the woods and she stumbles upon a guy, Tristan Mavering. They struck a deal where Evie started to work for the villain as an assistant. This book was really, really funny. There was a bit of action in here and romance in here. And the thing is, you can tell that they don't look like they like each other, but Evie has like a crush on her boss, the villain. And the villain, he's acting like he doesn't really like her. And then there's a plot twist at the end, which is so good. If anything, this is like probably my #1 baby for sure. This one too is my favorite, but if it had anything to do with action and working for a villain, I'm definitely gonna say this baby. I gave this book 5 stars. I did hear that Hannah Nicole published the second book, which is Apprentice to the Villain and Accomplice to the Villain. The Accomplice to the Villain, the third one, it just came out 2 days ago, I think. You guys should definitely get it, but if you do plan to read the second one, you should definitely read the first one, because then you'll get to know the characters and find out how Evie started to work for the villain and what all happened. Bride by Ali Hazelwood. This book, I've read this book more than 3 times, I think. I would say ask parents' permission about this one first, but this one is about a girl named Misery who is a she's a half vampire, half human. Misery is, I say, forced to marry someone from the Were territory, and it is none other than Lo Moreland. The thing is, they have not met they haven't gotten to know each other. They haven't found out like if she's a good fit or if he's trustworthy. There's a issue between vampires and werewolves, and they're trying to come up with like a way for them to get along. At first, it was kind of slow in the beginning, but then everything started to make sense. Something was not right where Misery's friend, who is a human, I forgot her name, but she was missing. It was just a lot of things that was going on. What I have in my notes is, in the beginning it was slow, but then in a couple of chapters in, it was getting really interesting. But I'm slowly starting to get that it's getting really good between the relationship between Misery and Lo, because they were starting to get to know each other a little bit as they were in this arranged marriage. I gave this book 4.5 stars. These Twisted Bonds by Lexi Ryan. This one is book 2. However, I was supposed to read the first one, which is These Hollow Vows by Lexi Ryan. And basically the first one is how our main character, her name is Bree. Her name is Bree in short, but her real name is Abriella. And in the first one, you would find out how Abriella and Sebastian had made a bond, and then how she fell in love with Sebastian. In the second one, you're leading toward the same characters, Abriella and Sebastian, but you also have this other guy, his name is Finn. And now she is regretting the bond that she made with Sebastian. She is not able to because this bond is like sealed. In my reviews that I said about this book, I will say, obviously again, in the first couple of chapters, it was pretty slow in the beginning. There was like a love triangle between Abriella being on top and then Sebastian and Finn getting involved in the love triangle, so you never knew if Abriella was really truly in love with Sebastian or if she was really trying to have her doubts and wanting to be with Finn. And Finn was Sebastian's best friend, I think. And there was a huge plot twist at the end, by the way, as always, and it was so good. A lot of action, huge love triangle issues, and a bunch of confusion in my end because, like I said, I read the second one and I should have read the first one because then I wouldn't have a lot of confusions. I gave this book 5 stars, have nothing bad to say about this book. I don't know if I would keep this book. When I bought this book, I was looking for the first one so I can start reading the first one and then get to the second one, but my bookstore didn't have the first one, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna grab the second one and hopefully I can try to understand a little bit. But overall, I love this book and I definitely recommend this book to anybody, but if you do plan to read this book, read the first one. That's all the books that I've read for the summer, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I post new videos every Wednesday. Comment down below the heart emoji. Stay tuned for another video, and until then, miss you already.